There we go, it's recording now. Right. Happy New Year to everybody. It's the 1st of January today. Hope you're all safe and well. And I'm going to show you how to pass your driving test and drive safely in 3 easy ways. You're probably thinking, what's he talking about, 3 easy ways? Well, 90% of what I'm going to show you, you can do it in 3s. The reason for that is because basically science has proven that we learn best when we learn in 3s. So if you think about the 3 R's for school, why do they have 3 R's instead of having, like, you know, a W and an A for writing and arithmetic? Well, they reckon that our brain likes to deal with rhythms like a poem. You know, we all like a poem that rhymes. Shakespeare is very clever, but it's very difficult to follow. So what I'm going to be showing is sort of similar type of things where you can have a little structure which makes it easy for your mind to take on board the information, because there is a lot of information to take on. A little bit about me. I'm a grade A advanced driving instructor. I'm also a coach for driver development, coach for driver behaviour, and I'm also a health and safety advisor. A coach for driver development is basically training people to drive. A coach for driver behaviour, I take people out who've already passed the test. I've been driving for years. I had a wagon driver not so long ago. He was coming up to retirement. He was in his 60s. With the wagons, the heavy goods vehicles, and people who have got experience, it's not about the skills, it's generally about the behaviour. So, like, the thought, once you think of something, it emotionally affects you, and that'll drive you. That'll be the one that'll be your, like, affected driving behaviour. So you can see I'm well qualified to show you these techniques. The reason why I'm doing it today off the cuff, because I've just been go for a walk on my scruff, and you wouldn't believe it, it started raining. I think it doesn't happen that much here, does it? I'm in a nice quiet road here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off, and this, you might think this is a little bit crazy, but I've had pupils who get in the car, I've never driven before, and they literally don't know how to start the car with the key. So I've got a camera under there with my feet, hopefully, got a bit of light under there. It's a bit dark here now because of the rain, and you should be able to see what I'm doing with my feet, okay? But first of all, what we've got to do is start the engine. Let's get to it. Here's the key, goes in, okay? So you turn it once and your electrics will come on. I don't know, you probably can see it in there from that camera, I'm not really sure. But anyway, so then you turn it twice and it starts, and then you just let go. So that was 3. The first one, turn once, turn twice. The third, just let it go, and it'll go back to its resting place. Engine is now taken over. And what I'm going to show you now is the clutch, because this is on the floor here. You'll see what the camera is, because I'm going to put these cameras together. Well, that might be a bit of fun. But anyway, so you'll see me right foot here, okay? So you've got the gas, the brake, and the clutch. Now, your right foot controls the speed of the car, okay, with the accelerator or the brake, alright? Your left foot is the one that uses the clutch, which connects the engine to the wheels, which is what you want. So people say, well, what shall I do? How much pressure should I put on the gas pedal? Well, really speaking, you don't really want more than, say, like maybe a pound coin, thickness of a pound coin. Probably if you're on a steep hill or something, use 2 pound coins, and you can see the thickness of them there. But anyway, you can see what I'm going to do with my feet now. So you can see here now, there's 3 pedals in it. Here we go again, in 3s. A, B and C. Remember, the right foot controls the speed of the car, and you can see the position of my foot. Now, you may find how tall you are, or how small you are, or you medium size, or how size your feet are. It all depends, but I always find my heel on the floor. I use it as a lever, and you can see I'm just doing this. I go from the gas to the brake. When people get in the car with me for the first time, I get them to talk to me at the same time. They're just doing this, okay? So here, you can, when you press it, a lot of people like sort of get a bit worried because of the noise. But we're going to go into further videos that I'm going to make, and you're going to find out which is your best learning style. Now it's called VAK, V-A-K. That's visual, audio, or kinesthetic. So I won't be doing that today. I'm just going to quickly just show you how to move the car. So as you can see, if you just practice this, so when you're pressing this, think of £2 coins. When you're using the brake, now this is the only, it's a psychomotor skill driving. So when you want to use the brake, this is like the only sensory motor skill that you use. And basically, my advice to this one is think of a tomato, yeah? So when you go to the brake, squeeze the tomato, don't squash it. Okay, so remember that one? You come off the gas, you go to the brake, and you squeeze, and you'll feel like a resistance, feel like you can feel it under your foot. Most cars today have got disc brakes. Years ago they were all drum brakes, and basically we used to use sequential gears. You probably get in the car, someone's going down the gears. The newer cars, you don't have to do that. You just basically, it should be one application of the brakes and maybe one gear change, depends, maybe two. That depends on the traffic situation. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how to use the clutch, and you can use this in 3. Okay, so clutch to the floor, 1. This is a separate, the gear's totally separate, but on about the clutch now in 3. So I'm going to stick it in first, and you can probably see, hopefully I'm going to have to move your feet because I've got the camera under here. I've got a bit of light on it. Yeah, you have to watch out for my scruffy child trainers, but I've just been for a walk in the mud. So it's down to the floor, and I've selected the gear. Okay, so what's happening now, excuse me, there's a clutch plate detected attached to the engine. The other one's attached to the wheels, but the one that's attached to the engine is you could say it's going the same speed as a spin dial on a washing machine, so it's spinning, and so you've got to connect them two. So when you get to the second bit, this is the second part of the clutch, you probably feel a change. There it is there, okay, and that's what they call the biting point. So that's the second part, but obviously you have to move off. So this is where the Metasigma maneuver comes in. This is what I'm saying about 3. The other thing I meant to mention about in 3, the main 3 things you're going to do to drive the car, okay, is going to be your hands here, your feet, and the gear stick. We only ever use this when the car's stationary. This is the handbrake, and I'll show you how to do a handbrake in 3 different ways in another video. But anyway, just to get you going, okay, because I know, to be honest with you, I think one of the main reasons I want to do this as well is because I don't think we're going to be coming out of a lockdown. I think we're going to go into a lockdown. It's the 1st of January now, it's 2:20. I believe we're probably going to go into another lockdown. Most of the country, not every part of the country. So these videos will help you to go and practice somewhere with, you know, a friend or your parents or a relative, someone that's in your bubble, by the way. It's like that. There's another thing, 3 hands facing space. You know, now that I've made you aware of it, you'll start noticing that a lot of things, these 3 things, you do this, and they sell you something that's always like, you only need to do these 3 things. So it always makes me wonder. That's why I've been looking into it. I mean, I've been driving on the United Kingdom's busy roads since 1976. I've been involved in driver training since 2006, and that's when I started realising the way because I've had so many people in the car, obviously learning to drive, passing the test, and experienced drivers doing risk assessments. Well, it's called driver metrics now. This is the new posh name for it. But anyway, as you can see, I've got my feet here, my gas there, my clutch is at the second part of this. So now I've got to do this Metasigma maneuver. So you go round here. To be honest, if I was you, if you just learn to drive, if you're with an instructor, ask him to help you to do that. You really want to be focusing on your feet. So what I do with my pupils, I help them to make sure that I'll do the observation for them. But anyway, so we're going to look around now. Now it's got to the second point now. It's starting to move now. This is the third bit where you just the way you just release it smoothly. Oh, well, there goes me light. Anyway, so we're going to pull over there. Now what you do now, you go to the brake first, but remember, squeeze it very lightly, and then just before it stops, put the clutch down. This will stop it from stalling. So let me just put my handbrake back on. I'll stick it back in neutral, and I better get my light. This is so you can see underneath here, because I tried it out the other day and there wasn't much light. So if you got back in there, matey, get in there, man. Did have it stashed there, that's it. I think. And I just still see that. Trying to find a place to put it, but I'll have to get some sticky stuff and tape it. It's right there. Anyway, getting back to what I've just showed you there. When you're moving off, yeah, you always use the gas and the clutch. When you're slowing down, it's the brake and the clutch. So what I'll do now, I'll give you that, because obviously it's no good just me showing you first gear. I'm going to go up to third. And the new rule that's come in, it's been in a while now, and it's called third for 30, third for safety. And this is where 3 comes in again. So I'm going to show you this third for third, third for safety, third for 30. Most of the roads you're going to go on are going to be 30 mile an hour. Although recently, the last 5 years, they're making them all 20 roads. But I'm just going to do this so that you can see. Hey, same again. I'll go through the procedure again. First, number 1 to the floor. Clutch is this is separate. This is the main part, the clutch, because you've got to connect that to the engine. So back on the gas, thickness of a pound. On this here, it's about 1.5 revs. If you're a visual learner, you'll probably be looking at that all the time. But make sure you look up the road, because that's the main part. But if you got a decent instructor or coach, they'll help you out. So we get it to the second bit where it's ready to go again. Look all around. Get it to that bit. This is the second bit, the biting bit, and then you hold it. Then give it just a lot of weight here. Now to change the gear, if you want to do it smoothly, what you want to say to yourself is, when you come off the gas pedal, just come off it lightly, and then say to yourself, clutch down smoothly. Yeah, select 2, clutch up smoothly. So you see that? When it's the second. This is one a smooth gear change. Okay, so I'm off the gas, clutch down smoothly, select 3, clutch up smoothly. So there's just 3 words: clutch down smoothly, clutch up smoothly. So I'm going to just stay in third. I'm going to come up to a roundabout in a moment, and I'll just show you. You see the way I use the gas and the clutch to move off. Now we're going to use the brake and the clutch to slow down. So it's only 20 around here. Roundabout coming up. We don't want a parallel park on this car. Very rarely you get a car and there goes the light again. Full see it thing. I'm just practicing this. So where we go now, so gently braking, squeezing. It's a tomato, I don't want to squash it, make a mess. Mirrors, 2 mirrors, mirror 1, this one, then indicate that's 3. So I'm going to go down to second, there's nobody there. Just a little bit on the gas, don't need much. I'm just going to go round this roundabout and come back, and I'll stop and show you it again. And these 2 mirrors for left and indicate. So there's 3, that mirror, which is over there by the camera, and switch that off. So watch this again. Off the gas, clutch down smoothly, select 3, clutch up, press the gas pedal. Show you how to slow down again. So you see, like you're in traffic and you got to slow down, and you can just gently do this, and you see you can use the brake as you put the clutch down. A lot of people get confused. So always remember this: always put the brake down first. So you got to imagine if a child or anybody around out in front here, you don't put the clutch down, because the clutch doesn't stop you. The clutch just stops you from stalling. So you always brake. So I'm going to pull up a little bit further down here. So you can stop in third. So I'm going to pull up by the curb here now, and pull over here. I'm going to get past that bit there. Braking gently. You probably feel a bit of a shake here, and I'll just leave it till it's shaking. that means it's going to stall, so we just put the clutch down and it's all smooth again. Alright, put the handbrake back on, stick it in neutral, switch it off. So what I'm going to do now is because I'm just starting to do these videos, I put some videos up of people that I passed when I was doing the crash courses with Chris Kelly. He's based in the Whittle. So I'll put a few of them up, you know, people passing the theory and the driving test within weeks. Some people just passing with 4 lessons, some people take an awful lot more. And there's another that I can say, like, it comes in threes. There's 3 ways that you learn to drive, and it's unfortunately you got your below average, then your average, and then obviously your above average. Obviously you want to be above average. If you take on board these techniques, you'll end up with above average. What you'll find is that during your lessons, part of it will be up there, and you all know what it's like if you're learning to drive. It doesn't matter if you're having driving lessons or not. You know what it's like. You'll be up there one moment, hey, everything's fantastic, and then you're down there. One of I think when it comes to a learning style, it's like you'll have to work that out yourself, whoever you're in the car with. But I'll go through that in future lessons. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch everything off. I'm going to check, see, because the reason why I'm only in my old scuff is because I just thought, well, I'll try it out on this. Got one on the window there. Got one under my feet. It's still there. I think it's fell off. Yeah, that was the one that was under my feet. I don't know whether it's work, but anyway, this one over there is still on, so I'm going to switch it off. And there's just something I'd like to do before I go, and yes, it's in threes. Obviously subscribe to this channel, share it, and like it, and I will see you soon. I will be putting more videos up to help you get your driving license. Let me switch this off.